Hello, everybody. MegaZardX here. Back at it again to give you another very exciting episode on Zard's Thoughts. Now, good gracious, Nintendo Gamecube. Man, oh man. We've been waiting for this sucker to come over to Nintendo Switch Online for the longest time, and finally they managed to give this mess to us though. But it's going to be exclusive only on the Nintendo Switch 2 system, and they're renaming the whole entire NSO thing to just Nintendo Classic. So at least that way, no matter what system comes out in the future, it's just going to be all called the same thing though. But this is cool because they're going to launch this new system on the launch day of the Nintendo Switch 2, and that's really cool. The only weird thing about this thing is there's only going to be 3 games to start off at launch, which that's going to be a little bit unfortunate though. But at least for the 3 games that we got, they're good, solid games, mind you. One of them being Wind Waker. Look, we've been waiting for the longest time on Wind Waker, like HD being brought over from that Wii U version over to like the Nintendo Switch for the longest time. And Nintendo's like, we got you, but let's just give you the original one. Granted, yes, all of these games that are being ran in this Nintendo GameCube Classic selection, they're going to be running at higher resolutions than the original versions that you would play on your GameCube and on your CRT TV back in the day. So that's really nice to see a brand new system get brought over and stuff. Wind Waker is going to be one of those first 2 games. That's really cool. Then we go ahead and look at the second game, and they managed to give us Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 2, I was like, what the frick? And of course, within that one given version, yes, you do have Link as a playable character as well. So I was like, oh, okay, that's really nice right there to see that as well. And I was like, oh, okay, because Sonic Cube, my good buddy that I know, he's been raving saying, hey, add that to my Switch 2, or not Switch 2, my GameCube collection. I was like, I don't know. But then, of course, now they put it over here, so now I don't got to worry about that mess. So Nintendo always has my back for the most part, at least for most things, though. And then the third and final game they gave us was F-Zero GX. Look, with this game dropping out here on Nintendo Classics for the GameCube side of things, though, hey, this is perfect because you can play through the whole entire F-Zero series at this one given point, though. So I was like, kudos to Nintendo down. All we just got to do is just wait on them to give us a brand new game, though. And that's it in terms of launch titles and stuff like this. Obviously, this is going to be included as part of the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. So as for the time being, we don't have any price hikes, which that was the one thing I was kind of worried about at first, though. But thankfully, they hadn't said anything about that. So we're just kind of going off of, the information as we currently got it right now. Now, granted, yes, that's not going to be the only games that will be there, because obviously, given enough time, they'll slowly trickle in and feed in a whole bunch of other games. And they kind of gave us like a slew, kind of like how they always do when they introduce a new system or whatever, though. They managed to go through and just showcase off all the different other games that are going to be slowly added onto the service over time, though. And some of the games that we managed to get to see was Mario Sunshine, Path of Radiance, which I was like, oh my gosh, that game is like $300 off of eBay when you're getting it secondhand in the market, though. Yeah, Gale of Darkness, another expensive one. Super Mario Strikers, the good Mario Strikers. Now we can get the squad up with my other pals and stuff, and we can actually duke it out in a proper Mario Strikers game. I love to see it, though. Chibi Robo, that's another really expensive one on the secondhand market as well. And I can finally figure out, what's the rave with Chibi Robo and stuff like that. That's a cult classic from the GameCube. Along with Luigi's Mansion, I was like, okay, that's good. And you get to have Pokemon Coliseum. So 2 Pokemon games up in there that's coming in the distant horizon. So I was like, you know what? That's some really cool stuff right there. And then even in the settings mode for the GameCube Classics thing, they let you actually go through and customize where you get to have all the different buttons mapped. Mind you, when you look back at the Nintendo Switch Online app for the N64 stuff, playing games such as like GoldenEye has been a pain in the butt because you literally have to do all your button configurations and stuff and remapping at the system level before you even booted up the thing. But now that you're actually able to do it in the app itself, should dodge a lot of issues, though. So that's really cool. Obviously, with this being a brand new system, and particularly being a home console, you know what that means. They got to give you and sell you a brand new controller that actually went with the system at the time of its original release. So yes, they're releasing a Nintendo GameCube controller, and this should be available roughly around the same point at launch for the system for the Switch 2 itself. My main big question is the fact that, well, how soon is this going to be thrown up on the NSO or Nintendo Switch website? And how long will it stay up on the site before it sells out? Because if we have anything to go off of with like the N64 controllers and stuff like that, that mess will sell out like hotcakes. You probably get people trying to buy that controller that might not already have their hands already on a Nintendo Switch 2. Let's keep it a buck 50 though. I mean, because yes, this one's gonna be cool. It has the home button up there on the top. It also has the C capture button, so you can actually, use that for anything that probably could also coincide with the capture button that I guess you're able to do within Nintendo Switch Online, or should I say Nintendo Classic games as well now. So I mean, all of that stuff is some great stuff right there, though. And I know we've been waiting on GameCube for the longest time. I'm just glad that they finally managed to give us this mess. Like, look, we've been hooping and hollering for the next new system. 64 has been going a little bit stale because they've been giving us some random old third parties. Like, they still hadn't gave us like Diddy Kong Racing or like Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like, I know there's a couple other rare games out there like that. Shoot, they even gave us Super Smash Bros. 64. I was like, what in the heck are you doing? The only thing that I say is a little bit unfortunate with this is the fact that they did not give us like Mario Kart Double Dash at launch or anytime in a distant horizon with the games that it kind of showed off on the screen though. But that kind of makes sense because you don't want to have another Mario Kart game clashing with attention with a brand new Mario Kart where they want all the eyes on that one. So I imagine it will come to the system because we do have Mario Kart 64, we do have the SNES version of Mario Kart, even the Game Boy Advance one, Super Circuit. It's going to come in its due time. Just probably had to give it a year or two or something like that before it shows up on the system. Because once that shows up, oh, it's a done wrap. I'm getting the boys. We're going to get this thing fired up, though. So it's nice just to finally have a brand new system available and stuff like that. But obviously, with the Switch having more expanded storage than versus like the Switch 2 versus the original Switch, hopefully storage for all these games shouldn't really matter because I know each one of these GameCube games could average about a gigabyte in size. So with us being on a naturally bigger system with bigger storage, that shouldn't be as much of an issue, at least when you're trying to go through and load up all of these games though. But who's to say they might give us a little bit more extra information when they talk about it in Treehouse. That's unfortunately that might not be in this video right now though. But y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section down below, what all do you think about the inclusion of Nintendo GameCube within the Nintendo Classics? Like, are you ecstatic through the moon on this? You're a little bit disappointed there's not as many games though, but considering all the games that are coming out on launch day for this for the system in general, like, is going to the GameCube app going to be like your first go-to? Maybe not for a lot of people because a lot of people are going to be playing some Mario Kart World though. But regardless though, like, once you want to kind of shake some things up a little bit though, or just experiment around with the system, this is going to be the next thing that a lot of people will flock to, as long as you have the expansion pack tier member thing. Glad it's not, at least not a little bit more expensive for the time being right now though. But that's going to basically do it in terms of today's video though. So if you really like this, make sure you're going to hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date. All things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing those. So remember y'all, until our video I make next, see y'all.